What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to our Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 with our Japanese playthrough. Obviously, our campaign is going very well, but within the last episode, I have noticed something absolutely horrible. All of our resources, we seem to be lacking almost 90% of all of them, which means all of our production here, you know, we're not producing any fighters, not producing almost anything, not even a navy or our tanks. So obviously something is wrong, and I spent the last 15 minutes trying to figure everything out. If we go into our resource map mode, I haven't unpaused the game yet, so I think this is the reason why. As you can see, we aren't receiving any resources at all, especially from Vietnam, Asia, India, and all of the islands down here. And I'm thinking, well, why is that? I believe it says if we look under convoys for trade and supply, not only do we have 0, but it says -71. So obviously it's some sort of glitch. Not necessarily glitch. Our convoys could be being sunk. But it makes me wonder. I'm looking at our resources, and it says the route efficiency is 0.00%. So I'm wondering, do we need destroyers to obviously patrol these waters? And I think we're going to have to go ahead and get some of those sooner rather than later. And I'm guessing all we're really going to do is when we look at our actual naval map mode, we are going to be bringing in a very small fleet, only around 6 or 7 ships. And we are going to patrol all 3 of these to basically scout around, look for submarines, and if needed, we are going to be building some radar stations. Now, obviously, I don't think we're going to be able to find some radar stations, or excuse me, find submarines with our radar stations, but nevertheless, we obviously should go ahead and try. We are being fabricated against by the Soviet Union, which is absolutely dangerous. But without further ado, I'm going to speed on up to speed 4. And we are going to begin looking at all of our naval invasions. They should be prepped and ready to go in one day, but it looks like we lack... Bismarck Sea needs to be checked out. We have... There are no units assigned to this order. Ah, yes, that is why. You are obviously trying to invade an island that cannot be invaded. So I think the best thing to do would obviously be to make this into 20 units and then invade the island or something along those lines. You will be invading in about 14 days, and you will be invading in 5. I see that none of these are activated yet, so that is good. And we have unread naval combat and unread naval battles. We are winning all of our naval battles, but I am obviously worried about all of the north here. We just lost about 400 convoys. And it looks like we're going to lose even more in just a moment. So I'm wondering exactly what happened. Obviously, all of our trade is going to be coming back. It looks like we are doing some fighting right here. We have a heavy cruiser and obviously some destroyers. We are trying to sink some battleships. But I think our best option would be to throw a carrier down into the area and obviously build up a radar station inside the Maldives. Let's go ahead and build a level 5 radar station. We are currently unlocking level 6 radar technology, and I believe that is the best we can offer. Let us also get a very small airbase on the Attu Island. Preferably, we've already got a level 2 airbase here and a level 2 airbase here. All of those can be moved to the top. And then basically unpausing our game. Like I said, I wanted to move a few ships over, but I think our #1 priority is to make our way to the Bismarck Sea. Now that all of our resources are finally accounted for, actually, it looks like a few are still being sunk. Well, maybe not. We're winning some convoy battles. No, yeah, naval convoy battles. Let's take all 6 of you. Your goal, again, I get that you have 1 carrier and 5 light cruisers. All you are to do is to search and destroy in these areas and try to sink what we can. All of these units, I believe, are heading back to the Soviet Union border. Research slot available once again. I think our #1 priority is to obviously improve all of our infantry. I lied. Our #1 priority is to obviously get our industry up and running, and then obviously in 2 days we are going to probably be improving our infantry. 1 day left till we get logistics companies. Let us begin improving what we can. You know what? getting better entrenchment might be good. Also, better river attack and defense. You know, potentially making maintenance companies might not be that bad. And it looks like it's only going to take 1 day to unlock this better tank. So we might as well do that. All of those can be traded in. And then eventually we will go for 134 days for this 1941 light tank. For the time being, all of these can be upgraded. I don't necessarily want to waste any of my my oil, or better yet, my experience just yet, because I feel like we are going to be improving those later. And so while we're waiting, we have no national focus. I'm pretty sure we have anything and everything we really need. Might as well get the Divine Wind, which allows kamikaze air missions. And then eventually we'll get Imperial Glory, but that is the last one that we absolutely need. We are obviously doing some naval invasions, but I don't think they're going to be working. So potentially making some additional artillery might not be such a bad idea. Yeah, this naval invasion probably is going to fail. The best way, I suppose, would be to group up instead of a group of 10. We probably will go for a group of 20. Looks like we've landed on the island. Obviously, we have some naval ships and naval vessels in the area. Can we just push our way? We've obviously got our offensive line, or excuse me, our front line. Let's make an offensive line all the way to the north. Activate when you are ready to go. And you are going to come here, 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 all the way over to wherever you can and see exactly what we can do. Now, as long as we take these islands, that means they have less naval bases, which ultimately means we won't need to... ooh, they've capitulated. Which ultimately means we won't necessarily need to, you know, find their ships as often, because they don't have anywhere to essentially garrison. Or better yet, resupply is the word I was looking for. Still very worried about the USSR. Most of our air bases are finally constructed, especially in the Attu Islands. Let us go and add a few fighters. Let's add about 100, and let us add about 100 naval bombers. We should actually have a few of those. Let's add our naval bomber 2s, because they are obviously much more effective. All of you will basically be doing naval strikes and air superiority in the... Let's put you here, and I'm going to add 100 and 100 again. I get that we don't have the capacity yet, but we will. 100. And we now need to add some additional fighters. If we could find them. I wish we didn't have to, like, scroll through anything and everything. It is a little annoying. Like, I wish there was something that would obviously go to our most powerful fighter, which is the Fighter 2. And surprisingly enough, we added the Fighter 1. But, you know, it will obviously replace itself in time. So both of these, you have a mission, you do not. You are both going to do naval strikes and air superiority in the North Emperor chain. I get that you obviously don't have much range at all. But nevertheless, we can obviously do quite a bit of damage. What are we waiting on? We have some naval battles, sinking some convoys to the best of our abilities. I would... You know what? Instead of building a radar station here, which is actually what we're doing, maybe building one here wouldn't be all that bad. But then again, I don't actually own this island. No, I think what I'll do is I will put it here, and then that way we have access to, you know, this entire area. Looking at our construction, looking at our repairs, we are doing well. We still have some resistance. Unfortunately, I don't know how to get rid of it. I have obviously taken all of my cavalry units. I have tried to garrison them anywhere and everywhere. All of Australia is garrisoned, but they just don't want to make it over, and I don't know how to fix it. Looks like we are fighting a heavy cruiser. Is there anything that we can do about that? All of you can now create an offensive line, unless this is Portugal. No, it's owned by Australia. All 9 of you will make your way over, and you will make your way to Bismarck. How is our conquest going? Fairly well. Obviously doing some more battles. What are we fighting? Don't even know. It'd be cool if we had radar stations here as well, but we obviously do not. Should we fix that? Maybe. We would have range over all of the Philippines. And we're obviously building up our industry, at least for the time being. Hungary demands a province. Alright, I'm definitely a little worried about the USSR. Obviously, Germany is pushing. If war does come, which I'm hoping it does not, we will be prepared, prepped, and ready to go. We are lacking steel now. And I don't necessarily know how to get any more. Looking at our steel, we could trade with the Soviet Union. That's not going to happen. We could trade with Manchuria, or Manchukuo. So let us do that. And Vichy, France, I don't know where you are. But I doubt we'll even make our way over. So other than that, we are going to be getting some additional steel. At least from our puppet friends. Everybody is doing a fantastic job. About to take, wow, an air base with 320 planes. They have all been evacuated. Are you making your way over? Not that I can tell. This island is about to be ours. Still doing some fighting. And it looks like, wow, there is a carrier here. So you know what? It tells me that even though they don't really have the range to be here... Well, I lied. I guess they do have the range if they can dock here. You would think we would catch them eventually. Okay, well, let's pause the game, take a look at our navies. Right now we have the... I kind of want to reorganize anything and everything. Could I hold? And I don't want to delete the navy. Well, maybe I do. This used equipment will return to storage, and the units will go back to the manpower pool. Any expeditionary forces... I don't want to what I want to do is delete this, but I don't want to remove the vessels, which I don't think will happen. But nevertheless, instead of risking it, might as well find a new home port wherever we can. As long as everybody is doing their garrisoning, positioning, let us continue to garrison a lot of additional provinces. I wonder, can we even garrison these? And I do want to make our way to the Attu Island, which obviously needs to be protected, and it is. Any other provinces? Maybe Australia. I have really no idea what exactly our plan is. We have 50 units, 45 are being used. 49, and now 52. Hopefully they will provide a little bit of suppression, and everything will go according to plan. I obviously do want to do some repairs. This is taking quite a long time, and we are working on the Divine Wind. Sooner or later, we are going to need more manpower, which obviously is a little annoying as well. When is our carrier going to be constructed? Very soon, I believe. It's going to be completed on the 18th of April, so about 1 month away. And I guess we will get better excavation. That will obviously improve all of our refineries, and obviously improve whatever we can. And we are going to have to go for the Aru Islands. Eventually, you are all here. You are all having some issues. Can we disband you and build a very, very powerful naval base? You know what? Let's send everybody here. We already have a level 5. Doesn't make too much sense to do any different. So you 10 will all join this one. And then all 20 of you will now be put on this naval invasion. And we aren't going to activate it. So let's cancel and wait for everybody to prepare. Everybody needs to get some organization. And obviously with 20 units, it should go in our favor. At least I hope so. We'll see exactly what happens. Looks like we have some naval battles that we are sinking some heavy cruisers. I see some carriers. We obviously need some better radar. I can't wait to finally connect all of these circles. It would mean the world to me. But then again, I feel like maybe getting some protection inside the Philippines might not really be that bad of an idea. So let's move that to the very top. Nevertheless, we obviously have the production queue to make that happen. And I guess we're going to have some in the Maldives. Maybe putting one here inside Eastern Japan. Or, oh my goodness. Western India might not be such a bad idea. Baluchistan. But let us also add some very, very small air bases. And I guess, do we have any naval ports? Not that I can see. Yes, we do. In Sindh. Just for fun, we are going to get a level 1 naval port inside Baluchistan. We are going to be building up that province to the best of our ability. I'm going to absolutely cry if we don't maintain control over all of these lands after the war is through. Who are we waiting on to capitulate? The UK, Canada, South Africa, New Zealand, so there aren't really that many countries that are left. We have some naval battles that have taken place. We haven't necessarily sunk anything. We sunk a destroyer, and we sunk a few convoys, but those are very cheap and not necessarily worth it. Wow! We have taken out a carrier. That is absolutely what I love to see. We have exiled divisions. Is our war with Russia? Are we in a war with Russia? Are we? No, I don't think so. We have exiled divisions, and I have no idea how to get them home. Can we march home? Well, Italy finally owns the Suez Canal. We are obviously doing some small naval invasions, or not necessarily invasions, but fighting off some forces here. All of our industry is being built up and constructed. Are we lacking any... It looks like we're still lacking convoys. I guess they're being sunk, but I don't necessarily know how or where. What is being transferred? All of our garrison troops. Hopefully we can break apart some of this resistance. Start repairing all of our factories. And speaking of repairs, I am going to be using a little bit of my political power. Actually, wow. We aren't getting any political power due to our occupation laws, which is not good. So I'm guessing we are going to have to make amends here very shortly. Who are we fighting? Is this an American carrier? I don't know. Are all 20 of you here? Yes, you are. We are going to activate this plan. Hopefully it will work and we can take the island. And I'm guessing what we're going to have to do is obviously go back to, you know, that island every time we try to do a naval invasion. Here it goes. Can we take this island? The Gilbert Island, and it only has a level 1 naval base. I would be horrified to see what would happen if they had a coastal fort. It says it's going to be less than a day, but I don't even know, like, why this isn't working. Could we give all of our Marines... if this doesn't work, we'll probably give them some tanks. That way we get better breakthrough. And now, it says we're gonna win, but I don't know. Ace Pilot has been promoted. We no longer gain the effects for the Emperor. Everybody is still doing a wonderful job. All 10 of you will basically try to claim this island. Activate when you are ready to go. All 9 of you still taking this area. We need to take Port Moresby. What are we fighting? Yikes, we are fighting. We lost the heavy cruiser. This is not good. They have a very powerful force here, which leads me to believe that our units inside the Bismarck Sea need to be moved and maneuvered around. Where are you? Okay, so I want you to hold and make your way all the way home. And the entire goal is to basically combine all of our light cruisers. And, or better yet, maybe even picking up this carrier might not be such a bad plan. As long as those units make their way back, we should be good. And the entire goal is obviously we will protect all 3 of these lands and potentially get a naval invasion inside these islands to obviously protect them, build up some, naval protection as well. Still very scared about the Soviet Union, but obviously our naval battles are going well. Did we ever take it? No, we did not. I don't know if I should cry now or later. Let's exercise these units, deactivate the plan, exercise, and I do want to add all of our Marine divisions are now going to be getting a few light tanks. Now, I have no idea how well that will help, and we lack a lot of them. We lack 8,800, and obviously we are producing them, but at a very, very slow pace. And it looks like we're still lacking some steel. I'm even wondering if I should cancel one of these altogether, but I just don't know. We're not necessarily fighting anybody right now, obviously, other than some naval battles, so that means our land equipment isn't necessarily being deteriorated as much as it should. You will join in here. You all have the same, garrisons. Attempt to lower resistance, but it's not working. They're not going to where they need to go. Maybe they will in time, who knows. Okay, we now have 92,000 infantry equipment. We're still working on all of our artillery, and it looks like we're losing artillery. While we are finally gaining a surplus of light tanks, we do need to improve those. And obviously, once we go ahead and unlock our new research for our light tank in 55 days, we are going to use all of our power, all of our experience to improve whatever we can. So it looks like Turkey, everybody is invading the USSR except me, which obviously isn't such a bad idea. Let's take a glance. Alright, we want to look at war participation. Japan has 33%. The German Reich has 31, Italy has 27. Obviously, I've taken all of Iran, I've taken all of India. We are doing very, very well. Concentrated Industry 4 has been unlocked. We now have better factory output. I think, even though it takes a very long time, we are going to get advanced computing machines. And eventually, you know what? Can we get jet engines? Not yet, not until 1944. But maybe getting experimental rockets to make that easier, or at least to have a better transition. I could save some oil and rubber, but we don't need it. We need steel. I don't know how to grab it. Now we have our better radar stations. We can upgrade anything and everything to level 6 to the best of our ability. Here we are. That will go up. This will go up. This will go up. Stronger as well. Stronger as well. And there should be 2 more radar stations. As long as we have, vision of anything and everything, I'm not really all that worried. I'm starting to think we should build a radar station down here in the south, and maybe one inside actual China. But let's put all of our infrastructure to the bottom. And then all of our radar stations will be constructed in time. Now, like I said, I get that I have the ability to use some of my political power. I'm making 1.4 a day. Let us go ahead and, ooh, I could get technology sharing. What does this do? We will encourage our research institutes and universities to reach out to their counterparts in allied countries. This will gain us a tech sharing bonus. No, thank you. I definitely want to get better construction repair. So that means all of my factories will repair for obviously faster and cheaper. Looks like we're losing some fights here. Once I get some radar, and I obviously put some planes in the area, which I can do now. Let's put in about 300 naval bombers. I've got quite a few of them. 1, 2, 3. And then I also want to add some fighters. Fighter 2s, let's add 100. All of them are going to protect this ocean province. Naval strikes and air superiority. It is a little far away, and it looks like they lack the range, which is not good. but hopefully it will improve in time. German Reich caves into Hungary. I don't know what happened. Looks like the Allies are pushing quite well. Moscow isn't too far, and it's obviously not the winter just yet. The German Reich is still pushing. They have still not declared war on me. Well, we have another research slot. I don't necessarily know what I need. Obviously improving. We don't even have our better weapons yet, so 149 days. I guess this is what happens when you begin improving your air and your naval capacity as much as possible. All of you guys, are you ready to go? Not yet. 3 more days, and they lack access to the Timor Sea. Did all of my naval vessels finally make it back? It looks like they did. We have a bunch of different fleets here, and I don't know if I like that. You will all go here as well. Do we have 2 carriers? Yes, we do. And it looks like one of our carriers has sunk a few ships. Let us now send you all the way to gain a new naval base. If I shift right-click, it will now go to Ceylon, and then search and destroy here, here, and here. So now this entire area should be safe, at least for the time being. Let's give you an admiral. And it looks like we're still losing convoys, which is I don't like to see. Still working on better radar inside Baluchistan. I'm kind of curious to see, is this level 2? Because it's obviously not going... Level 6 is going to be like way out here. Here's all of our repairs. They're going along nicely, but could be better. We're down to 210,000 manpower, which obviously needs to change sometime soon. Here is our tank division. These are now our marine divisions are now tanks, which I find that odd and kind of funny. We are still obviously gaining experience. Let us stop, because we definitely need 588 days worth of tanks. I wonder, can I... Fall of Moscow. Let's go ahead and try to reactivate this plan. I have no idea if it will work. It says we're out of infrastructure and out of supply. I don't like to hear that as well. Getting 2 more infrastructure. Do we need a better naval base? Looking at supply. Somewhere. It says all we really lack is obviously our naval base is doing well, but we lack infrastructure. But we should be able to build that very, very quickly. Infrastructure is about 3,000, not as quickly as I thought it would be. Obviously, air bases cost more. Okay, how is our Philippines radar stations? Luzon is what I'm guessing it is. It has a level 2. Ah, we have been invaded by the Philippines again. This needs to change. Can we do anything about that? Not that I can see. All 10 of you, are you ready to go? You lack access to the Timor Sea. Do we have any vessels? What are you? Let us go ahead and hold. This very, very, very weak vessel, all we're going to do is basically protect all 3 of these lands. And it looks like they've sunk quite a bit, and instead of Chigoku, let's give you a new port. We can't reach Darwin. What might as well make it Java. We will make our repairs as soon as we can. What have we sunk? Just a bunch of destroyers, and we have sank a light cruiser. Still got quite a bit of army experience. Have definitely a lot of naval experience. Could I make any better light cruisers? Probably. Looking at our light cruiser 3, the Mach 2. Let's make a Mach 3, so therefore getting more reliability, better anti-air, and that's all we can do. Unfortunately, our speed does go down and our range does go down, but obviously more anti-air and more reliability. It's going to be very, very nice. Okay, where are you? Looking for the light cruiser Mach 3. Looking for the light cruiser Mach 3. I wish it would just appear at the top. And the Agano-class light cruiser Mach 3. So pumping out all of those as quickly as we can. I do want to verify that 2 are at Kyushu and 2 are at Chigoku. Okay, so you will go to Chigoku, you will go to Chigoku, you will go to Kyushu, and you will go to Kyushu as well. Obviously, the entire goal was to not remove these from production. They will be finished in time on the 29th of September. It's kind of a ways away. At least, obviously, it's a ways away with broken dockyards. Units are being shifted back and forth. We finally have some better radar coverage. The fall of Stalingrad. Looks like Germany is obviously doing much, much better than before. Vichy France moving in. I definitely need to do an invasion of the US sometime soon. And unfortunately, I think the only real way to do that is to obviously get our tanks, and therefore we need steel. The reason why I say that is we do have a very good, defense of the Pacific here. I wonder, are we actually sinking anything? Naval battle. So any type of battle that we see it like this, the US are losing ships. Any type of, like, see how it has a star and a ship? They're losing destroyers. Unfortunately, those aren't hard to build. And when we see skulls, they are defeats. How are we pushing on? It doesn't seem like we're doing all that well. And if we just attack this province, we could easily secure more and more dockyards and obviously naval bases. So then that way they lose, obviously, supply. What can we do? We have unassigned divisions. All of you will join this very powerful group of units that are all from Manchuria. They must have over 1 million men, because it looks like 66 divisions, or 66 armies. In the meantime, everybody is doing well. All of these guys are obviously still doing their jobs. I wonder why this looks like a different color. I wonder if I made this into... I like them being white, but it's a little hard to determine white on white sometimes. Obviously, we need to protect some islands, which isn't necessarily going as well. And it looks like they're losing a lot of convoys. A lot of naval battles as well, a lot of victories. Convoys anywhere and everywhere. If we hover over unread naval battles, we've only really had 1 defeat. In the Battle of the West Indian Ocean and the East Indian Ocean. Unread naval combats as well. As long as we have the Japan Fleet 4, and it looks like they've sunk 10 ships already, so they're obviously doing very, very well, getting some experience. And obviously our Admiral is getting experience as well. I would like another carrier, and it's going to take a very long time, I guess. Let's get another carrier up and running, and unfortunately we are going to need dockyards, and we are going to need steel. Let's put you in Hiroshima. Looks like another light cruiser is ready to go. Now we have our level 3 tanks. Those can be upgraded. Let's get better infantry equipment. And it looks like we're now out of oil. But once again, we have a lot of army experience. Let's get the most powerful guns and the most reliability that we can get our hands on. Let's get a little bit more armor. And I don't think we can get any more, so let's save. We now have the Kenai Mach 1. Kenai Mach 1. Okay, so what do we lack? We lack oil, and we lack a ton of steel. Unfortunately, I don't think we can get any more steel, which is very, very sad. So do we want to destroy all of these? We could save oil and steel, and then we could put it on our new ships, which I think we will do. I don't plan on producing any more marine units. Let's obviously deploy you. This will be my last one unless one gets destroyed. Now, the reason why I say that... Where are you? because I don't want to produce any more tanks if we don't need to. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. You are going to go like this. You two are going to go like that. And as long as we can cut off all of these units, we should be doing much better than before. Here comes our tanks, doing very, very well. Usually what would be the best option would obviously be to send a naval invasion force in and then throw tanks in. But looks like that's not going to be possible. We have free military factories. I have no idea what to build because we're out of aluminum and we're out of steel. You know, we have everything else. I think with just oil, we could probably build submarines. I don't know. I could save oil and rubber. We don't need nearly as many motorized. But I don't need really oil and rubber. I need aluminum and I need steel. And I don't know how to do that. I need to keep all of our support equipment. I need to keep improved artillery. This is going to get really challenging unless we obviously invade the US. Looks like we have some more naval battles. Here is a victory, sinking some convoys. And if we look at our strategic air map mode, it probably wouldn't hurt to throw some planes in the West Indian Ocean. Not literally throw planes, but let's put a level 2 airbase. And then that way, while they scout around, they could try to do some, you know, damage. Do we have an airbase here? No. Maybe this needs to change. I think it does. Let's build a level 2 airbase. And then once we like secure our perimeter, you know, maybe we could do some naval invasions to Diego Garcia. And actually, that would be the best place to throw in some, you know, planes. I guess for now, wouldn't hurt building some air bases. Whoa, we have gone way too far. Thank you all for joining me. I am going to have to end this episode. As always, hope you all have an awesome day, and I will see you in our next adventure.